What's up guys, my name is Robert Donaldson with blackheartgoldpants.com, and with State Week officially wrapped up, it's time we bust out the old Blackheart Gold Pants film room once again and break down the performance of one Nathan Stanley from this past Saturday. On Saturday, Stanley fished with an impressive line of 27 completions on 41 attempts, while tallying 333 passing yards with 5 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. However, despite those big numbers, there's still some people out there who question whether those numbers might be just a little bit deceptive. And on the flip side, there are some people who viewed Stanley's performance as just the beginning of what will be, a massive breakout sophomore campaign. With that said, the truth with these sort of things often lies somewhere in the middle. So today we're going to take a closer look at Stanley's performance against Iowa State and try to get a better idea of how good Stanley actually is at this point in his Iowa career. One of the things I picked up on with Stanley over the course of his first 2 starts is that he's a highly impressive rhythm passer, meaning that on short timing patterns and screens, he's consistently getting the ball out quick, on time, and most importantly, he's hitting his receivers with some really nice placement that allows for yards after the catch. And Nick Easley has been one of the bigger benefactors from that. And quick timing patterns are really one of Iowa's staples on offense, and Stanley through 2 games has looked excellent when asked to do so. So that's definitely a positive thing to take away from his first 2 performances. In addition to being a great rhythm passer, Stanley already sees the field better than most first-year starters do, and he even mixes in a little bit of intentional eye manipulation at times to try and hold a defender to a certain area. And when it comes to scanning through his progressions, Stanley is often able to find his open receivers downfield, or if there's not anybody open, he's able to check it down and take what the defense gives him. However, with that said, at times Stanley has a tendency to bird dog or stare down his receivers, and there have already been a few times this season where he's played with fire by doing so. Moving on now to the most common criticism being levied against Stanley's performance against Iowa State, and that is his inaccuracy when throwing the deep ball. Strictly going off of my live impression, this was something that really jumped out to me as well, and upon rewatching it, I think it still holds up. Stanley just missed a few wide open receivers on Saturday on overthrows. This is obviously somewhat concerning because when there's a wide open opportunity to make a big play, you expect your guys to go out there and make it. With that said, the positive takeaway here is that when he's missing long. If he was missing short with that arm strength, then it might be time to get a little bit worried. But when a quarterback misses long, that's something that's very correctable. And it's not like these passes are going all sporadic in different directions. They're on line. The pass to ISM kind of looks bad, but it's more of a miscommunication. ISM gained inside leverage and Stanley just threw it straight on a go. But I'm very optimistic about Stanley's ability to throw the deep ball going forward, and it's certainly something to keep an eye on as the season progresses. My favorite part of the game on Saturday was Iowa's final drive in regulation, because it was really the point that made me truly believe that Iowa had found their guy at quarterback. On the road, the drive starts at their own 11-yard line with 3 minutes left on the clock, down by 7, and Stanley throughout this drive was fearless, confident, and straight up playing out of his skull. On this first play, Stanley scans the field and finds Vandy towards the sideline and just puts a ball on a rope over 20 yards in the air down the field for a first down. And here he just does a really nice job at seeing the field, staying composed, and delivering a strike on a play that really sets the tone for the rest of the drive. The next notable play of the drive comes on 3rd and 2, and once again Stanley hangs stuff in the pocket. However, what should get highlighted here is the placement and velocity of this throw, because the ball is a bullet that is put straight on the money for a first down. To place a ball that precisely with that kind of velocity is very impressive, and here Stanley makes it look routine. On this next play, it's 2nd and 7 with 1:38 left on the clock, and Stanley once again just delivers a straight up strike with great placement to put it away from the defender in coverage to pick up the first down. You can't say enough about the accuracy and placement here to hit that throw with that much velocity again, You know, it's just very impressive. Not a lot of quarterbacks can make that throw, and here's Stanley making it for the second time on this drive alone. And now on the final play of the drive, it's 1st and 10 with 1:20 left on the game clock, and Stanley comes out lined up in the gun, and once the ball is snapped, Stanley's eyes are transitioning down the field as he scans the field or possibly just sells the downfield to open up wildly on the crosser underneath. You know, whatever the case may be, Stanley ends up checking it down to Wadley while hitting him perfectly in stride, and then Wadley just takes it from there. My favorite offensive philosophy in all of football is a very simple one, and it's just give the ball to your best players and they'll end up making a play, and that's exactly what happens here. Once the ball's in Wadley's hands, he's just going to make guys miss, and he does things that only he can do. And just like that, it's a tie ball game. And of course, we can't talk about last Saturday's game without bringing up the game-winning touchdown pass to ISM. You know, on this play, Stanley rolls out to his right and just arms a pass to ISM on the speed out with perfect placement and velocity for the game-winning touchdown. You know, this was just a great play by both ISM and Stanley, and hopefully we get to see this quarterback-wide receiver connection for quite some time, because on Saturday they were a lot of fun to watch. All in all, Stanley looked very impressive in his first career road start, displaying his arm strength, placement, and ability to hit timing patterns, and he also saw the field very well. With that said, this game showed that there's still some work to be done, particularly regarding his deep ball and tendency to stare down receivers. However, there were more positives than negatives to take away in this game, and Stanley's ability to excel in crunch time is very encouraging moving forward. If you enjoyed today's video, definitely upvote or recommend the post, and feel free to share on social media as well. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, definitely drop something in the comment section or on Facebook or Twitter. I'll see it, because having conversations and getting feedback from you guys is why I love putting this stuff together. Also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, feel free to do so at RobDFB. With all that said, that's all I got for today. I'll see you all in another video.